Okay. So I think that it makes sense, like, to give a bit of context for these recordings. In the previous ones, we just started discussing, and I think it's hard for people to, like, when they find a recording, know what's happening. So this is the external secrets community meeting. It is mostly about the effort of going to a solution written in Golang now, but it's also about the original solutions written in other languages, like the Kubernetes external secret from GoDaddy. So this meeting is held every other Wednesday at this time, so 5:30 Central European time. And yeah, it's open and anyone can join. And yeah, we have an agenda and I'll get to it. Also, the idea is to have a code of conduct, both to like contributions, code contributions, but also like for us to behave normally on these calls. We don't have the code of conduct yet, but yeah, we just expect people to don't be jerks. So going over the agenda, the first one that I added here was about the Repo Automation bot. So the idea is just to add something to help us with managerial tasks, like with automatic messages on pull request, or like having comments for making our life easier, and like merging automatically if we have like some situation that this is interesting. And I created an issue for that. I suggested 3 options. So Paul is a bot that was created by one of my colleagues, Brandon, and it's very simple, but it gets the job done. And like you have comments like /approve or /label, so you can label with the comments and you can create automation around that as well. And the feature that I really like about it is like you can label pull request merge. And if it's like a pull request that you know that everything is okay with it, you just send the last commit, but you don't want to wait for it to click merge for the CI to run. It just label it merge, and the bot, like in the next hour, it will merge this pull request if the CI is done. Hi, Kellin. Oh. And yeah, then there's some other options. So there's this Derek is created by Alex Ellis. It's a bit more complicated, but it's nice as well. Like you have a configuration file, it's very similar to Paul in that regard. And it can also help with like some annoying things, like if we go to participate of Hacktoberfest, so sometimes we get a lot of contributions that are hard to filter in a way. So the bot can also help with that. So it's also interesting for us. And the last option that I mentioned, I'm not sure if it's a good idea, and I also commented on that, is Pro. So the bot that they use for Kubernetes projects in general. But it's very complicated. I'm not sure how to set it up and all that. Not sure if you have any opinions on that as well. Yeah.
Well, I certainly agree with having some sort of automation for helping us with labeling, merging, and stuff like that. That totally makes sense. And regarding Pro, I think this is really heavyweight. I think we should start small with an easy to understand, easy to configure solution like Paul or Derek. I think that's a good first step, because Pro is a huge thing and we have to set it up and we need infrastructure for that. We have to manage infrastructure, and no, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
I think it's more important to have infrastructure for end-to-end tests. I think that's a little bit more value there. We still have to manage it, sure, but yeah, maybe we can consider using Pro in the long run, but yeah, let's start small and
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we can continue the discussion on the issue, but like if we don't have anything against, I would vouch for Pro just as a start, and then we can see if it doesn't like deliver any feature, you can move to Derek.
I mean Paul, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think you just said Pro, but yeah, anyway.
Oh,
Maybe I
sorry,
misunderstood
Paul.
that.
Yes, similar names. Yeah, just got confused. Paul. Yeah. The other one, I saw that we had an issue for this one. I'm not sure if it makes sense to discuss it right now. Then if it doesn't, we can just skip it. But it's about the release workflow. So I think we are getting kind of ready for a release when we have at least. I'm not sure if we have one more backend and like the normalization of the test and all that. Maybe we can launch a release. And yeah, maybe we can discuss that. But Kellin brought it up. He was trying to reach the call. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I think we need at least one more provider, and yeah, maybe a little bit of end-to-end tests to do a first release, like a 001 alpha-ish release.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a first step to get the CI running and the process running. I think that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But then also, I think he let me have a look on the issue just to understand what he was coming from. Hi.
Hey, sorry.
No worries. We're just discussing the issue that you brought up about the release workflow. So yeah, it's about like just having a process to promote a Helm chart, right?
Yeah. So for that one release process I'm really interested in is like the idea that kind of like the main branch or whatever will have, pushed builds, like, canary builds, and then the release process can just be promoting those rather than rebuilding on a tag. So that's something I saw that like Crossplane and a few others were doing that looked interesting to me. So I was going to kind of investigate that, and then it makes the kind of tag GitHub workflow really small because it's just like a Docker pull, Docker tag, Docker push, rather than any sort of like Golang requirements or Helm requirements there. So
cool.
It's just something I'm not super familiar with. I've never set up, so I'll have to, or whoever is working on that might need kind of like a test repo to try that out on, or their fork or something.
Okay, cool. Yes, it sounds nice. Okay, yeah, because I just mentioned this because I think we're getting near a release, right? Like if we have maybe another provider and some end-to-end test, I think we can already have a release launched.
Yeah. I have the draft I just opened this morning for the Vault provider, but it still needs a bit more testing. But
okay,
hopefully we can get that into.
Cool, nice. The next one, yeah, I thought about this one. Not sure what you think about this, like changing the cadence of our meetings. Like, do we need this to be bi-weekly? Can we? Not sure if we can go back to monthly, or we keep it bi-weekly.
I don't have a strong preference since it's 30 minutes. I think monthly could be fine, but, as long as we continue to, talk async and Slack and through other ways.
Yeah. I was
Do we have
thinking,
discussions open on our repo? That might be another good way that if we just want to have, not necessarily an issue, but just a topic.
I think we don't, but we can enable it. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be.
Does it make sense for us to have another channel, like specifically about the V2 effort, just so we don't like spam the main channel? Or is it better to just keep everything on the main channel?
I have a slight preference to continue to use that channel, and as long as we just like have good practice of like threading and everything and aren't spam, because I think on one hand it allows some users to be aware that there's this effort ongoing and it's not kind of off to the side. Because I think once we have kind of a release and a couple working providers, I think there might be some users interested in beginning to test out this. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I agree.
Cool. But sorry. So we go to 1 month, or do we keep it biweekly? Or keep it biweekly, and if you don't have a preference, okay,
no preference right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I took the liberty and I bought externalsecrets.io, and I and I set it up with the GitHub pages. I can also add you as admins of the domain, and like we can figure out how to, like, if we apply for CNCF sandbox or anything like that, I think we have to donate the domain to CNCF and this kind of stuff. But yeah, I just took the liberty and bought it, and yeah, we're already using it. It's not using the Apex domain yet, so it's using www, but yeah, we can improve that later.
Awesome, thank you.
No worries. And yeah, I was looking over the CLA thing. I found this CLA Assistant. It's basically something that you set up with the project, and you can sign CLAs from the pull request. I think it's okay if you want to use it. I'm just afraid of, like, I'm not sure, like, if this pushes people away a bit, like adding extra steps for creating pull requests. Maybe we could just enforce this if it's someone that it's contributing in work time and we just trust them or something like that. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it goes into whether we ever think we'll need to relicense, which I'm not sure we will need to. I think because most things in the Kubernetes ecosystem share this, we're like Apache too, right? Yeah. And then whether we end up with large pull requests that don't get merged in, right? Because if they're on their fork, I actually don't know. I need to look at that. If they fork it, I don't know if the license applies. My question would be around like pull requests, the content of pull requests that don't get merged in, because I'm not sure we have a really big interest in relicensing in the future. So
yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, this pull request thing that you mentioned, yeah, I never thought about it. Like, it stays on a limbo, right? It doesn't have the license of the repository, and
yeah, I'll need to continue to look into that.
Okay. Yeah, but I think it's easy to set this up. We can just try it. Maybe we don't enforce it that much, but try it, like, what is the workflow with this, and then we see if it makes sense.
Yeah, the other question I had about in terms of, I don't know if CNCF is the right way. That's something else we'll want to look at. But I'm curious who the owners of like the Kubernetes 6 project external DNS are, because I feel like this project is a lot like that, of where it's a, it's a Kubernetes add-on that can work with different, cloud providers. In that case, it's for DNS, but in this case, it's for secrets. And so we're on some of these projects that are kind of like app add-ons to work with providers. I wonder if there's kind of a working group already that exists that, you know, we could reach out to.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, we can talk to them and just understand. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if they have a working group that we can, not in this like Kubernetes lecture. I don't see it, but yeah, we can reach out. Can you pick this action item?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't see on the README, but I do see it used to be owned by, like, you know, there was like Hops DNS manager, and it looks like it got merged into like a Kubernetes 6. So it's kind of similar to what's happened here. But yeah, I'll add that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, the last one here is about the code of conduct. I just created a pull request with a template that I found. It's the same one that we used on the container solutions one. I just copied it. We can use another one or this one or adapt it or yeah, anything. I also updated the documentation to like reference it and all that. Besides that, I saw that we got a message here. If you wanted to talk about your issue, we are happily to discuss this.
Yeah, is there any like specific providers, you know, you're kind of
Yeah. Hey guys. So I'm Chaitanya. So we're for the first iteration, at least, we want to support Vault. That's our initial provider that we would need. But maybe what really prompted us to land on this open source is that it's extensible to multiple providers. It's not a specific one. So yeah, we hope to be able to support whatever the customer wants in future. But for the first iteration, we are looking mainly at Vault provider, the HashiCorp Vault as a provider. Yeah. So I was just wondering if, well, obviously we're looking at forking and downstreaming it into OpenShift maybe, but I was wondering if how I may be able to join the effort, maybe submit some PRs or such. I do have like 15 years of development experience, and the last 3-4 years has been mostly on Kubernetes, on the IBM ICP, which is a Kubernetes cluster solution, and now on OpenShift. I do not have a lot of open source experience. Some of the work that we have done as part of OpenShift and IBM has been open source, but I've never joined like an open source community like this and contributed. So I am not aware of what the process would be or what the procedure generally is, but I would like to kind of contribute to this effort and not just pick up your code and use it. But, yeah.
That's very nice to hear. And yeah, it's a bit of a new thing for all of us in a sense, at least this kind of coordination between like multiple entities, different companies and different people from the community. And yeah, about getting involved, we basically have this community meeting every other Wednesday. We communicate on the Slack channel, and it's very open, like how we open issues and all that. It's and how we distribute work is very how can I say it? In streamlined process, but you're welcome to join and help us develop this.
So would I just go pick up some issue or submit a PR and wait for a review, or would you guys have some suggestion on where I could maybe get started with something?
it's still pretty early days for the project, so in some ways it's kind of hard to see, but there might be some kind of features around the core controller. I'm not sure if like refresh or templating is been fully fleshed out yet, and the testing around that as well. We can maybe point to, I think what we need to use is the good first issue tag or label on issues, and make sure that the relevant issues are labeled that way. In terms of the Vault provider, I just opened a draft PR for that today. So hopefully in a week or so, we can, I can finish that up and we can get that merged in. And then, yeah, there might be some feedback based on that we can also work on.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea if you could have a look on the PR and see like if it covers all your use cases and if it makes sense for you.
Okay, I guess I'll start there. Okay, thank you. Any other suggestions you may have for me? Or I was like maybe trying to see if I can pick up a defect or something that I can get started, get my feet wet on, and then, but if you guys have something that you think is easy enough for somebody who's just getting started to work on, I'm on your Slack channel. I don't know if you have anything separately going on, but I am on that external secrets, the main channel, or you could just maybe assign it to my ID right there directly, my GitHub ID.
Yeah. And I think the reason we don't have quite many like bugs yet is because our use is still really, we only have one provider, I think, merged in. So I think as people begin to use it and as providers are added, there will be more that show up there. So.
Okay. Okay. Just keep me in my mind if something's there that you guys think I could get started with. Otherwise,
I think we have like two big umbrella issues in a way regarding testing. So unit testing for everything that we have, and also some refactors regarding unit testing, and also end-to-end testing that we want to have on the project. So maybe that's a good way to start as well, because then for writing tests, you have to understand what's happening.
Yeah, that would be a good start. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks a lot. Just, did I forget anything? Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to discuss?
I don't think. Did we talk? I might have missed it at the beginning, but around some of the repo automation. Is any of that hooked up, or was it just around the issue for using like Prow or some other bot?
Yeah, it was. We kind of decided to go with Paul and see if it just delivers what we need, and if it doesn't, we go to Derek or any other option. But Prow would be like too much, like shooting with a cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll probably set up Paul and try using it.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, so I think that's it then. Thanks a lot for joining. Good to see more people getting interested in the project. And yeah, see you guys in 2 weeks. Probably before that on the Slack.
Sure.
See you guys.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.